Right. We're doing good on there. Now we're going to see if we can actually go live in the Facebook group. What do they want me to do here? We want to, what are we calling this? How to get lean? How to get, oh yeah. How to get lean and toned this year. Wow. Your blueprint for fat loss. So many steps. So I apologize for those of you that are watching the recording. But I think we're ready to finally go live in the Facebook group. Maybe. All right. Supposedly we are live. What is up, everybody? Happy Friday, Junior. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who are popping in tonight, if you are watching this live, I would love if you just did a little like. If you wrote in the comments like, hey, I'm here, whatever, watching. If you're watching this later on, don't hesitate to put in there replay or whatever. And if you have any questions, comments, feedback throughout this video, please make sure you are dropping those in the comments. Especially if you're on here catching this live with me, would love to know if any questions pop up or if there's something that I am not making clear. As you can see, I've got one person joining me like on the actual Google Meet itself. That's my mom. So I'm happy to have her in here. It was an open invitation to any of my active clients and stuff kind of at the last minute. So yeah, if anybody else wants to join us live, you're welcome to, I suppose. But I appreciate you guys watching. So anyways, I am going to try to be as on point with this as I possibly can. I even wrote myself a little script and did all the things. And I might do some screen sharing and stuff if I can do that here in the Facebook group. I'm still a little technology challenge, many of you know, so we're going to do our very best. But what I want to talk about tonight is how to get lean and toned this year. So, you know, toned is one of those phrases that is thrown around the fitness space. It's thrown around in media. People think that toned is a thing, and it's not, right? Like, I know what you mean when you say you want to be toned, when you want to tone up. When you want to look a certain way, it means that you want to look lean. You want muscle definition, because just think about this. I'm guessing that if you lost 20 pounds, you wouldn't want to just look like this deflated version of yourself with like skin sagging off of you and stuff, right? You would want that to look tighter and like you have some definition. For those of you who work out, you probably want people to look at you and think that you actually look like you work out. You know what it means when somebody actually looks like an athlete or looks like they lift weights or looks like they are active, right? So we're going to dive into the blueprint of how you can set up your own sort of fat loss phase, or it might even not be a fat loss phase, right? There's plenty of you out there who probably think you need fat loss, and really what you need is muscle building rather than fat loss. And of course, we can talk about that on a different night and everything. But today, I just want to go over what does your blueprint look like. So you might want to get out a pen and paper, take some notes here. Obviously, this is being recorded, so you can watch the playback later on. But like I said, I'm going to have some key things on here that you might just want to start doing right away. And so if you got a pen and paper, get it out and let's take some notes. So first things first, you really do want to start logging your food. So you hear me talk about this a lot in my content. It is primary focus because we don't know what we're eating. We just don't. So many people tell me they're eating healthy, or I hardly eat anything, or, you know, I eat clean. Like, what does that mean? That doesn't really give us anything to work with, right? Until you know what you're eating, how much you're eating, you can't really do anything with what you're doing. Like, there's no way to change that. All it is okay, so I guess you just eat less of it. Like, that's just not helpful. Okay. So what I want you to do is start logging in an app like MyFitnessPal, because we cannot manage what we do not measure. All right. So I know why people don't like tracking in an app like MyFitnessPal. 9 times out of 10, it's because they've tried doing it before and they couldn't do it with the goals that program was giving them. Right. So I even did this today. I made a reel about it. I'm going to be showing that later on. But when you go into MyFitnessPal, Most people are logging in there that they want to lose 2 pounds a week. They're logging that they're very active. And the fact of the matter is that they're not very active and you don't need to lose 2 pounds a week. That is far too aggressive. That is not where you want to start. So let me jump over to my notes here so that I can, again, make this as concise as possible and really walk through what I said you need to do. So start logging. You do not need the premium version of MyFitnessPal yet. Okay. If you are somebody who is new to tracking, you've never done this before, I would not recommend doing the premium version just yet. However, if you want to do the 30-day free trial and then maybe cancel before that time is up, unless you feel like you want to keep using the premium version, totally cool. But most people just need to start like at ground zero, and you don't need the bells and whistles that the premium version supplies you. Although for me, I'm at that point where I love it. I pay for it. It's like $80 a year and is worth every penny to me because of how I use the app. So start logging to see what you're eating and how much you're eating. So I highly recommend investing in one specific thing here. Remember, you don't need to pay for the app, but what you do need to buy is a food scale. So buy yourself like a $10 food scale off of Amazon. Just log in, digital food scale. You want one that measures in grams and in ounces. And what you want to do is just find one that has really good reviews, right? Like that's all you got to do. I literally have, I think, 3 different food scales in my house, all for different reasons at this point. And so just find one that looks good enough. It's going to give you a digital read and it has great reviews. Okay. You have no idea how much 6 ounces of chicken is. So I need you to stop pretending that you do. Okay. Stop telling me that you eat a lot of protein because you don't. I had this conversation with a guy yesterday, actually. He called me up looking for help, blah, 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 all the things. Well, you probably need to eat more protein. So guess what? He told me, well, I do. I eat a lot of protein. I go, no, you don't. Everybody tells me they eat a lot of protein. They do not eat a lot of protein. They're so full of it. What is up, Melissa? Glad to have you, girl. And so then he's like, well, yeah, I eat this and that. And I eat a lot of nuts. Do not ever tell me that you eat a lot of protein because you eat a lot of nuts. Nuts are not protein. Nuts contain protein. They are a fat. Okay. We'll go into all that some other time. Nuts are not a high protein food. Stop thinking that your handfuls of nuts are getting you an amazing protein target. These 2 ladies who are on this call with me right now, they know better. So they will tell you. Anyways. Okay. So we're going to log all of our food. We're going to measure our food and we're going to actually understand how much food we're really eating. So in MyFitnessPal, a few key things. Do not log exercise. Do not ever put your workouts in there. Do not ever have your Apple Watch or your Fitbit or any activity device hooked up to your MyFitnessPal because it is going to say that you burned so many calories and then it's going to tell you to eat back those calories. That is completely bogus. You don't want to do it. What you're going to do is work with me through this. Just trust you are not logging any exercise calories or activity calories. Okay. Do not set goals like lose 2 pounds a week. So when you go into MyFitnessPal, you go to your goals and it asks you what your goal is. You're going to say maintain. Your goal is not to lose 2 pounds a week. It's not even to lose a half a pound a week. You want to select maintain. Then you're going to choose an accurate activity level. Again, please quit thinking that you are very active because you work out for an hour a day. You're not, okay? Even if you're working out for an hour a day, chances are you're sitting on your ass for the other 23 hours. Chances are you're probably not somebody who just easily gets 10,000 plus steps per day. Are there instances where that is the case? Certainly, but you want to choose something more accurate, which is probably lightly active. Holy crap, I cannot talk. So again, we want to choose an accurate activity level. Lightly active is where most of you, I'm guessing, are. Okay. Then when you go into changing your settings on your food, it'll ask you calories, carbs, fats, protein. What do you want to change this to? Whatever. You can adjust your percentages. So you could have like 40% carbs, 40% protein, 30% fat, like whatever adds up to 100%. You're not doing any of that. You're actually going to go change your calories to 0. 0 calories, which is then going to change all of your macros to 0. You are not trying to track and get any certain goals. You are simply weighing and measuring all of the foods and drinks that you're consuming, and you're logging it in MyFitnessPal. And at the end of the day, you're just going to see how many calories did I get, how much protein did I get, how much carbs, how much fat, how much fiber, Awesome. That's what you want to do. You want to not care at all about what the goal is. The goal is simply to start logging. Okay. If you're not already logging, then it makes zero sense for me to say, hey, I want you to hit 2,000 calories a day. What if right now you're eating 800 calories a day? How ridiculous does that sound? Or if I say, hey, eat 2,000 calories a day and you're eating 3,000 calories a day, then you think you're doing something wrong. That is not the case. All we're doing is tracking our food so that we have awareness around what we're consuming, because we cannot manage what we do not measure. So measure and log your food. So next up, once you've actually given yourself the opportunity to be consistent with logging every single thing in MyFitnessPal for 1 to 2 weeks. Again, this is what we do with our clients when they start with us. They have to just do a dietary recall. They log all of their food for 1 full week before we give them any sort of goals to work towards. So you can do this for, again, 1 to 2 weeks. Even if you're going out to eat, log it. Even if it's a bite, lick, or taste, BLT. Somebody asked me that today. I'm like, how do you not know this? I talk about this all the time, I feel like. Even if you're having a bite, lick, or taste of anything, you're logging it in MyFitnessPal. Okay. So next up, once you've been logging for a couple weeks, then we're going to start to work towards some numerical goals. So I'm going to see if I'm able to do a little screen share here. We will see. I'm going to present a tab. And the first tab is going to be your BMR calculator. Okay. So all you have to do here is you just go into Google and you put in BMR calculator. So you're going to input your data, and this is going to determine your daily basal metabolic rate. So remember, I told you, you might want to take notes. This is the amount of calories that you need just to keep your body alive. Okay. So I put in some basic stuff here. As you can see, 37, female, 5'7", 162 pounds. Sound familiar? Yeah, this might be my data, you guys. So just to make it easy, I put myself in. So just for me to keep the lights on, over 1,400 calories per day. So some of you are out there eating 1,200 calories a day, 1,000 calories a day, just to keep my body functioning, my vital organs working. Just to be able to open and close my eyes and move my hands, I need at least 1,452 calories per day every day. Again, that is your basal metabolic rate that you need in order to stay alive. Okay. So next up, we are going to go to tdeecalculator.net. And this is going to help you define your maintenance calories. Okay. So again, you go in, you put your stats into TDEE calculator. I put in for all of my data here, blah, 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 all the things. So for me, just to be doing the things that I do with my activity level, which I'm moderate exercise. I work out at least 3 times a week, lifting heavy weights. I do a little bit of cardio here and there, and I get a ton of steps. I get 10,000 plus steps. Right now I'm at like 16,000 steps for the day. I am moderately active with my exercise activity. So in order for me to maintain my current weight, I would need to be consuming about 2,251 calories per day. Okay. So of course, this thing is not sharing with you the tab that I want it to be. So let me stop presenting, and then I'm going to present again, a different window, or no, yeah, a different window. Sorry guys, I told you I am tech challenged. Right. Da-da-da. There it is. Okay, Melissa, is that why you were raising your hand? Because I'm dumb and didn't have the right thing up there.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So here's my TDEE, moderate exercise, 2251. And as you can see, it gives you a breakdown here. It has this BMR, right? Like I already did that on a different calculator. You could have just done it here in the TDEE calculator, where it still gave me this similar breakdown for my basal metabolic rate. This would be if I were sedentary, if I had light exercise, if I had moderate exercise, heavy exercise. It gives you a breakdown of all of the things, you guys, that you need in order to determine your TDEE. So what does that mean? Your total daily energy expenditure. Because again, BMR is just to keep the lights on. TDEE takes into account how active you are on a daily basis. So once we've got our TDE, we've done all the fun things. Here's what you now want to do. So I'm going to stop presenting. Okay, you don't need to see that no more. Grab some notes over here. So in MyFitnessPal, you want to find your average calorie intake from your past 1 to 2 weeks of tracking that you did. So if your average intake is within about 100 calories of what that TDEE calculator shows, then that's great. That means you're likely consuming at maintenance, which means that your weight should be maintaining. All right. So if I were to do this and I logged in MyFitnessPal and I had all my food and I'm like, oh my gosh, amazing. I've been eating about 2,200 calories a day on average every day. My TDEE calculator tells me that's how much I need to maintain my weight. How awesome is that? I'm very excited. I know I've been doing a great job at maintaining my weight. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Let me play around with some things here, you guys. I got so many windows open up here. Okay, so Liz says, no workouts logged or steps and don't do net carbs. Yes, my girl knows what she is saying. Appreciate you, coach. All right, so finding my notes. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to be as organized as possible. But like I said, I have about 1 million tabs open right now. Okay, so if you're going into MyFitnessPal and you look at the information that you've gathered from the past couple weeks, and you're actually eating above your TDEE maintenance calories, and if you want to lose weight, then it's going to be very easy for you to just drop those calories down to maintenance while you prioritize your protein intake. Okay, so let's say I did my calculator numbers. It showed me that my maintenance was about 2,250. And I'm like, oh, damn, my weight has not really been maintaining. It's been going up a little bit. But I see in MyFitnessPal, I've been eating like 2,700 calories a day. Then yeah, that would make sense. I was eating in a calorie surplus. I was eating too many calories to maintain my current weight. So now if I just drop down to maintenance calories, I should easily be able to lose weight because that would be cutting out a few extra 100 calories per day every day, right? But we don't want to just cut calories. We want to make sure that we're cutting calories in the right way. So we want to prioritize our protein intake. So my goal for you guys would be to aim for anywhere from, again, write this down, 0.7 to 1.2 grams of protein per day every day. So let's do the math on that. My 162-pound person, if I multiply that by 0.7, that means at minimum need to be eating 113 grams of protein per day, and at maximum eating about 194 grams of protein per day. I'm going to tell you right now, for me, I love eating protein. There is no way in hell I could survive if I were only eating 114 grams of protein per day, because your girl loves her mother effing protein. I eat closer to about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I'm eating 160 grams per day right now. I love it. I could eat more, but I'm trying to keep it right there so that I can have more calories to allocate for carbs, because I love carbs for energy. I don't really care about fat. I eat like the minimum amount that I need to for hormone balance, but your girl loves her damn carbs. So I'm eating like 255 grams of carbs a day, I think. So anyways, you could, again, if you're eating in a calorie surplus, drop down to your maintenance calories and just make sure you're eating enough protein. But here's the thing. Most people, they're not eating too much. If your average amount of calories is not the same as your maintenance calories, then you're going to have some work to do. So oftentimes we see people eating well below their maintenance calories, yet they're not able to lose weight. So if, for example, your maintenance calories, you go in, you do all the calculations, let's say your maintenance calories are 2,000 and you've only been eating about 1,500 calories a day. Well, you should be losing weight, right? Like I just told you, if I were eating 2,700 calories and my maintenance was 22 and I dropped down to that 22, I'd be cutting about 500 calories a day. I would be losing weight. If you're somebody who should be eating 2,000 calories a day and you're only eating 1,500 and you're not losing weight, what the hell is going on? That doesn't make any sense, Crystal. Well, it's likely because you have down-regulated your metabolism. Why? How does this happen? What does that mean? You have made your metabolism adapt to a very low amount of calories simply because you have not been feeding yourself enough. So now your metabolism's like, cool, I'm in survival mode. I got to maintain as much of this energy from the food as I can so that I can, again, make sure I keep the lights on. If you're eating close to or well below your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, your body is hoarding those calories so it can keep up with keeping you alive, but also doing all those extra things that you're doing, right? If you're busy momming, if you're busy working out, if you're busy going grocery shopping and running errands and stuff, all those things require calories, and you are not getting enough of them if you were eating well below your maintenance calories, you guys. It's just, you need energy in order to produce that energy output. So if you're somebody who's downregulated your metabolism because you've been eating too few calories for too long, well, you cannot just now cut down to 1,000 calories, right? Because again, that's going to equal death. Like, as you saw, my BMR is 1452. If I were eating 1,000 calories a day, I would slowly be killing myself. It is simply a matter of fact. My metabolism would get slower and slower, and I would have to eat less and less and less in order to lose weight. And so what are we going to do? Have you going to literally starvation? You're eating 0 calories per day just because you want to lose weight? That doesn't work, you guys. Nobody should be eating 1,000 calories a day. Nobody should be, in very rare instances, should anybody be eating 1,200 calories a day. Yes, there are some very small individuals who, you know, if you weigh like 100 pounds, you might be able to be one of those people that eats so little. And I shouldn't even say be able, because that sounds absolutely miserable. I would hate to have to be eating so little. So, anyways, if you're not eating enough, you're going to have to reverse diet your way up to those maintenance calories. So again, let's say your maintenance is 2,000, you're only eating 1,500. Write this down. You want to slowly start adding in anywhere from about 50 to 100 calories a week every week until you reach your maintenance calories, while, again, making sure that you're hitting that protein goal every day. Reminder, you're aiming for 0.7 to 1.2 grams of protein per day every single day. And so now you're freaking out. You're like, I'm going to gain weight, Crystal. You might, but guess what? You have to in order to get your metabolism back up to where it needs to be. It's going to be mostly water weight. There might be a little bit of fat, but also if you follow these other steps I'm going to give you that have to go with working out and whatnot, you're going to be able to build muscle. That is the weight that you want to be gaining. And like I said, a lot of you don't need to be concerned about losing fat. You need to be concerned about gaining muscle if you want to look the way that you want to look. So doing this, going through the reverse diet, adding in those 50 to 100 calories per week, every week until you get up to maintenance, it is the only way that you can get your body and your metabolism where they need to be in order for you to start losing weight at some point, okay? So once you hit those maintenance calories, guess what? You don't just stop. You don't just say, okay, I hit my maintenance calories. I got here. I'm at 2,000. Great. Time to drop 500 calories. It doesn't work like that. Your body has to hang out. It has to be at homeostasis. It has to feel safe before it's ready to lose weight. And it's like, bitch, I don't trust you. You just took the last few weeks that you finally started feeding me enough food. I don't want you to steal this food away from me now, because guess what? It's going to, again, quickly adapt to those lower calories. So we have to hang out at maintenance for a while. This is a really uncomfortable spot for a lot of people. They want to cut weight. They don't want to maintain. It's boring. It's not exciting. They think, I just want to lose weight. You have the rest of your life to lose weight. Quit thinking that you have to work on this ridiculous, teeny tiny timeline. Once you get back to those maintenance calories, you're going to have to live there for absolutely no less than 3 months. But in my experience, most people have to stay there longer because they've been chronically yo-yo dieting for years and years and years. And so they just have to stay there a bit longer. Okay. So for myself personally, I was in a reverse diet / maintenance phase for 9 months with my own coach before I finally got to the point where we felt good about where my metabolism was at, where my recovery was at, and where my mind was at, most importantly, when it came to losing weight. So 9 months. Yeah, sounds like a real treat, right? I was not happy about it, but it's what had to be done. And it was the best fucking thing I've ever done for my health ever. Okay. So no matter what your goal is, whether you're maintaining, whether you're cutting, AKA dieting, AKA calorie deficit, or if you're reversing, AKA getting in a surplus or building your calories up, you want to focus on these better habits. So again, write it down, ladies. We want to aim to hit at least half your body weight in ounces of water per day every day. This is a non-negotiable. It is easy. It is simple. Please quit bitching about having to drink water. Again, here's me on my soapbox saying there are people in this world that wish they had access to clean water. So please quit bitching about the fact that you have to drink water. It is good for you. It gives you good energy. It helps you to make sure you're pushing all the food through your system the way that you should be. When you stay hydrated, you look better. Your skin doesn't look like shit, right? This also helps you to just make sure that everything is staying in alignment with you not feeling dehydrated and then thinking that you're actually hungry, right? Like so oftentimes we think we're hungry. Really, just bitch, go chug some water. You're thirsty. Go drink your water, okay? Next up, you want to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night with a regular sleep schedule, okay? So that regular sleep schedule, it needs to be very similar on both weeknights and weekends. People are creating jet lag every single week because they have this drastic difference from what their sleep schedule looks like on weeknights versus weekends, right? They're like, oh, what's the weekend? I'm going to stay up 2 hours later. I'll just get up 2 hours later. It's great. And then it takes forever to get back into a normal sleep cycle come Monday morning, right? You're feeling exhausted because it took longer to fall asleep on Sunday night because, again, you got up later. You're just screwing yourself. Get that 7 to 9 hours of sleep and do it consistently every single day as best as you possibly can. Sure, there might be like 30 minutes or so difference. Cool, not a big deal. But anything longer than an hour, you're screwing yourself. So knock it off, okay? Next up, daily movement. We want to be shooting for about 7K to 10K steps per day. That's typically a good place for most people to start. Although, if you're somebody who is significantly higher or lower than that, then just let me know and we will set up something else that's more realistic for you, okay? Like I've had clients come to us recently who they were getting maybe 2,000 steps a day. Do you think I said go get 7,000 steps? No, it's we have to make baby steps and maybe we're trying to add in 1,000 steps more and then consistently hit that. And then we add 1,000 steps more and consistently get that until we're in a better range like that 7 to 10K. It's just an indicator of being a normal active adult. And that's where we all should really be living at, okay? And if you're somebody who's getting a ton more steps than that, then we might need to talk as well, because then if you wanted to go into creating a fat loss phase and you were just doing too much activity, it's going to be harder for us. So we're going to have to like bring those steps down gradually, which is again, something I had experience with when I signed up with my coach. I was too active. I had to bring my steps down. Otherwise it was going to make it harder to lose fat in the end. So keep that in mind. You can be too active. All right. And if so, we probably just need to feed you more food. Okay. And next up, protein and plants at every meal and or snack. So whatever your daily protein goal is, we want to break that down by spreading it out as evenly as you can across however many meals and snacks per day you're having every day. So let's say, for instance, you're eating about 160 grams of protein a day, because, hey, that's me. To make it easy, I'm going to say, yeah, I have 3 meals and I have 1 snack. So 160 divided by those 4 meals, 3 meals and 1 snack, we want to be having about 40 grams of protein on average in each of those meals and or snacks. So I don't even call my meals snacks ever. I don't snack. I just eat meals. I eat breakfast. I eat second breakfast. I eat lunch. I eat a late afternoon lunch or dinner. And then I have like a dessert every night, which is usually my crack bowl. But if I were eating 4 meals a day, easy, 40, 40, 40, 40, split it up as easily as possible so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Because I know that when I say 160 grams of protein per day, people are like, what the fuck? How am I going to do that? But if I told you to go eat 160 carbs per day, easy. You could do it. And the thing is, there are as many calories in a gram of carbs as there are in a gram of protein. There are 4 calories in 1 gram of carbs, and there are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein, and there are 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. And for me to tell you to eat like 160 grams of carbs, that would be so easy for all of you, because you're eating a bunch of bullshit. You're eating crackers and chips and cookies and cakes and pre-processed things that contain a ton of carbs. But it's like impossible to get you to try to eat even 100 grams of protein some days, okay? So anyways, protein and plants at every meal, spread it out across all of your meals, break it down, just ask yourself, hey, what do I usually have for breakfast? If it's Greek yogurt, cool, you're gonna need at least a couple servings of Greek yogurt, or you're gonna have to start mixing in protein powder, or you're gonna have Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and protein powder. Go check my pin post on Instagram. I've got a post on there that shows you all about how to get 30 to 50 or more grams of protein in every meal, just using Costco products and some protein powder. Super easy. Okay. So why do we want to have all that protein? Protein's harder to overeat for most people. So it's going to keep you fuller for longer. Your body burns more calories just trying to digest it in comparison to fats and carbs. Like literally you burn more calories eating protein than any other type of food. And it helps you preserve and build muscle so that you can actually look toned. Again, if we do not have muscle, there is nothing to tone and you will never look toned. How do you build muscle? With protein and your strength training. Okay. So otherwise, if you lose weight, you're just going to look like a skinny fat melted wax candle version of yourself. And ain't nobody trying to do that, right? Nobody wants to do that. We all want to look fucking jacked. Okay. So we got the protein covered. Next, we want to eat 1 to 2 cups of fruits and or veggies at every single meal and or snack. So these fruits and veggies, they're going to provide fiber and other micronutrients for good energy and health. Fiber also helps keep you fuller for longer, just like protein. And you can eat a much larger volume of food for very few calories, right? You can literally go have a big ass plate full of broccoli and carrots and asparagus and Brussels sprouts and all this for like 200 calories. And it is a ton of food. Or you can go have one little bullshit Quest protein bar for 200 calories. Which one do you think is going to keep you fuller for longer, right? It's just a high volume food. That's what fruits and veggies are. They're high volume. They have a lot of nutrients in them. They're going to give you more vitamins and minerals and micronutrients so that you can not only look better, but just be healthier, you guys. And that's what this whole thing's all about. What the fuck is the point of losing weight and getting skinnier or toned or more fit if we're not healthier and if we don't feel good, okay? So fruits and veggies, nutrient dense, very few calories for the amount of room that they take up on your plate and thus in your stomach. Fill the rest of your calories with some delicious carbs and fats. So we can have things like whole grain breads, oats, English muffins, bagels, rice, potatoes, pasta, nuts, avocado, olive oil, butter. Like the list goes on and on. So many great carbs and fats that you can add to your foods, but also make sure you're making your foods taste delicious. Salt, like I put salt on like everything because I don't eat a ton of processed foods, so I need salt. And this, if you're somebody who has like a lot of headaches and stuff, you probably want to up your salt intake, especially if you know you're not eating a lot of processed foods. So have salt, have pepper, have garlic salt. I have, again, like on my highlights on my Instagram, I've got a bunch of different seasonings and stuff that I get from like Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has the best seasonings. Everything but the bagel seasoning is legit. You can do great condiments. There's low calorie dressings and sauces. And again, I have all of that on my Instagram. Go check it out. But also make sure that about like 10 to 20% of your calories are coming from some more like quote unquote fun foods so that you're not feeling like you're missing out or you're being restricted in your food choices. You're never going to see me giving up my 100 calories of coffee creamer that I have every single day at home, right? I have my 4 servings of coffee creamer. It is 100 calories. I am not giving it up, but I also measure it. Again, I have another reel about that because I have a client who was not measuring her coffee creamer. And guess what? Those calories count, whether you count them or not. But we're not going to see me giving up the coffee creamer. I'm not giving up crumble or Oreos or ice cream or pizza or my mini chocolate chips in my crack bowl. I'm just not going to give those things up, you guys. So instead, I eat primarily all these delicious whole foods, the proteins, the plants, the awesome carbs and fats, and then I sprinkle in a little bit of more of those fun foods here and there, which take up about 10 to 20% of my calories every week, right? I go out to eat maybe once a week. I make really great crack bowls at home every night. I go to Crumble when the menu looks fucking dope and I can't wait to eat the rest of my cookies tonight. Like, you should not have to give up these things. Instead, you want to figure out how to fit them into your days while still hitting your protein and hitting your fiber goals, getting in all those fruits and vegetables and delicious things, right? Because here's the thing. If you try to give up all those things, you're going to end up just white knuckling it. And then you're going to binge on all the things because you felt like you weren't allowed to have them or you were missing out on them. You had FOMO, right? So don't allow yourself to say, oh, I'm going keto because I can't trust myself with cookies. Just fucking learn how to eat the cookies along with other real food. Okay. Next step, I'm almost there, I promise. We want to strength train with progressive overload 2 to 5 times per week. So this means you're going to be following the same workouts every week for at least 4 to 8 weeks before switching it up. I actually have another coaching friend. She's training right now for a bodybuilding show, and she did the same fucking workout plan, you guys, for it was at least 9 months, if not a year. The exact same workout plan every single week. All she focused on was getting stronger. So lifting heavier weights, lifting more weights, like for more reps. It was the same workout routine. It never changed. And guess what? She's in a bodybuilding show. Like, I know that's a little bit extreme. Most people that are following us are not trying to do that, but your workouts don't have to be fancy. They just have to be well designed and be pushing you through progressive overload, where again, the goal is to get stronger week over week. And you're not going to get stronger at every single exercise. That's cool, but you should always be able to get better at something. Okay. Okay. And last one, just making sure that you're managing your stress well, because your body really doesn't know the difference between stress of a tough marriage or a bad day at work or hitting a high intensity workout or running from a saber-toothed tiger. Your body does not know how to differentiate between stress. So you just need to be really good at managing stress. And so that looks like maybe doing meditation, maybe journaling, maybe just having quiet time to yourself, maybe locking yourself in the bathroom and telling your kids, like, go, like, attack somebody else, leave me alone for 5 minutes. But you've got to figure out how to manage your stress better. Otherwise, your body is not going to allow you to lose that body fat, okay? And then, just make sure that you're using other metrics that indicate progress, like pictures and measurements. And you want to also make sure that you're monitoring your energy levels, because again, what the hell is the point of losing weight if you just feel like shit? If you were running yourself into the ground and you were starving yourself just so you can lose weight, is it worth it if you feel miserable or if people don't want to be around you because you're a fucking asshole because you're not eating? Like, no, it's not worth it to lose weight if you're miserable and you're making other people miserable, okay? Getting healthier should make you feel better. And if losing weight isn't making you feel great, then it's probably not a healthy thing for you to be trying to do right now. And you probably need to go live your best life at maintenance. That's where I'm at right now. I'm loving it. I'm eating crumble cookies and eating pasta, and life is good, okay? So, final thing, if all this sounds really hard and like a whole lot of work for you to figure out on your own, well, then guess what? You can do this thing. You could probably just like hire a coach who actually knows what the hell they're doing, since this is kind of what they do for a living. Huh, weird. If you want your car fixed, you can either try to Google it, YouTube it, like, I don't know, just YouTube the shit out of that problem, or you could just hire a professional. If you want your hair cut and colored, well, you can risk looking like you did it yourself and everybody sees, oh, cute haircut. Did you do that yourself? Yeah. Or you could hire a professional. Or if you need surgery, you're probably hiring a professional. You don't just hire people like for no reason. You hire them because they're a professional. I'm guessing people hire you for your job because you're a professional and you know what you're doing at your job. So with coaching, it's no different, right? You had coaches growing up maybe as an athlete. Why? Because you need somebody to coach you on what to do to reach the goal, right? That's why people hire coaches. So we're the ones who help take the guesswork out of it, and we show you how to make those goals achievable for you and your life's demands. All right. So that is my presentation all about how to get lean and tone this year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you took those notes and that you have your game plan for success, because I don't want to go back and recap all that because I have a lot of notes here. So anyways, ladies, there's a couple of you on here. Thank you, Melissa, for the cheers. Does anybody have any comments? I know, Melissa, Mom, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys being here. Any input, please feel free to give it. Jen says, thank God for you and Liz. Jen, you have been amazing to work with as well. We appreciate you and thank you for being you. Oh, just love when you guys are like joining in on the fun over here. So, all right, well, I'm going to go eat the shit out of my crack bowl with my crumble cookies. And as always, like I said, if anybody has any questions, comments, feedback, drop it in the comments. Ladies, love you. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.